Welcome back, loyal viewers. This is our next great deal, and this is a great one. This is a really interesting project. This is a purpose-built two-family in Price Hill, and I know for a lot of you, you're going to go, "Oh, yuck," but hang with me for a few minutes because this is a particularly interesting project. First, let me pan you around the street. We're on a real short dead end street in Price Hill that is, honest to God, mostly owner occupied. That house, that right there, is a rental, but most of the others, I've spoken to a couple of the neighbors. There are only like a dozen houses on this street, and most of them are long term owner occupants. You can see the two-car garage built in the front there. Here's the view from the back. Actually, I think this is the side of the house, and we're not looking at the back yet. Um, no, that is the back. I'm sorry. We're going to look at the other side. But this house actually sits on three lots. You see an extra lot there and an extra lot here. So the yard is flat, uniform, very private, and extremely attractive. Now, this house is not without its problems. I tell a lot of the truth about what's going on in these deals. First, let's take a look at the roof. On this part, wow, that's tough. I really should bring a tripod with me when I'm doing this for these long, steady shots. Shingle roof that's aged, right, and needs to be replaced. You can see there's some box gutter flaw right there, and that's true in a couple spots where you're going to have to do some work there. That's not actually the worst part of the roof. I'll show you that from another angle, but the roof has failed in one spot, and someone tried to patch it, and that hasn't worked. But let me try to give you some kind of scale to the size of the yard here, because it is big and private and flat and usable. Here's another view of the house there, um, and you see in the background our neighbor Bob, who's painting a fence. Good guy, lived there 30 years. So here's where the roof has its real problems and has actually failed. It's hard to get a decent angle to shoot that from, but if you look carefully enough, you can see all the patching around the chimney with like roll roofing or something. So that kind of sucks. So inside, what I've just walked through the front door of the first floor unit. So we have a living room here with natural woodwork and hardwood floors and the now dummy fireplace. It's a good sized room. Let me fumble with this for a second. And it has a working set of pocket doors that separate the living room from the dining room. And in we walk into the formal dining room. In the very center of the unit. These units are some of the most intelligently laid out apartments I've ever seen. This is kind of beautiful. And here we have what I imagine was a sitting room or something, but I mean it's a bedroom to us, right? But it might have been a parlor or something when this house was built. But it's actually for our purposes, it's a large bedroom. And here's another place where we're going to spend some money because the kitchens in both units are a wreck. I like the exposed brick. I don't like the vent-a-hood with the dryer vent attached to it. That's kind of stupid. Both units also have this, a butler's pantry off of the kitchen. The cabinetry in this one is a little more intact, but you can see there's a little bit of drywall work to do here too. Um, I would probably just refinish these floors and, three coats of oil-based poly, and then you're going to be rocking. So we've seen one bedroom, the kitchen. Now we're going to go into the bathroom, which needs some, cooling up. This is just a cheap vinyl shower surround that I kind of hate. The vanity's okay, the toilet's okay, the medicine cabinet is inexpensive, but there. So it needs flooring, it needs a real surround. I would do ceramic tile, of course, because that's how I am. Now we're into bedroom two. You can see, it's all been patched and painted up, although dark brown on the ceiling for God knows why. But you can see like all the plaster dust and stuff that they never bothered to clean up. But a good sized room, natural woodwork, hardwood floors that aren't damaged, prohibitively or anything like that. Bedroom three is fairly small. It's a real size bedroom. It has a closet, a window and outlets, and all that stuff. You can see a little sign of the big water damage in that closet because that's closer to where the roof has failed. Another dark brown ceiling for some reason, but it's hard to convey this in video. But just the flow and the feel here. This is a charming unit. The whole house is charming. But there's really something here that's very appealing. So I'm just going to go up the back stairs. There's a front exterior entrance to Unit 2 as well, but that's where a ton of the water damage is, and just for expediency, I'm going up the back stairs. So here's the kitchen to Unit 2. That's I have no idea how old that stove is, and I doubt that it works, but it's probably appealing to someone on eBay or something. But this kitchen is kind of a mess too. You've got crappy peel and stick tile everywhere. That I would just redo that one as well. You know what? Let me go back over here and kind of act like there's a balcony out there, of course. So I'm acting like I've just walked through the theoretical front door, right? I'm just going to do this like I did the first floor. So I come in from the balcony and there's the living room. I am now in the formal dining room. There's no chandelier here, unfortunately. And where that small bedroom was, that space is taken up by the landing for the staircase off the exterior front door. And you can see that's where a lot of our water problems are coming from. So back through the dining room and into that former parlor that we're now calling bedroom one. And that ceiling is not brown, thank God, but it is high gloss white because that's attractive. And you can see this butler's pantry is slightly rougher. It looks like some of the cabinetry, the framework is still there, but some of the cabinetry has been lost to the mists of time here. Back into the dining room, there's the kitchen that we walked through to enter the unit. Here is a much more modern bathroom. They tried to add a closet here, you can see to my right, and I'm not sure that's doing anyone any good because it makes the whole room kind of squeezy, but it's a nice ceramic tile job in the kitchen. They put in the corner kind of vanity top. So they were on the right track, but it needs to be finished intelligently. So here's bedroom two, again a medium-sized bedroom. All that is fine. It's still got some stuff in it, but we haven't even really seen stuff yet. Just you wait. So again, pocket doors, natural woodwork. So let's go back to the back stairs here because there's a third floor, and if you're brave enough, there's finishable space up here because the upstairs is right now it's a 2 bedroom 1 bath, 5 room 2 bedroom 1 bath, and if you have the guts and the money, there is enough space up here. All of this was finished at one time. You can see it was plaster and lapped up. I don't know what the history is that all this went away, but I walked through this with a contractor, and there is space here for another 2 bedrooms and a half bath. So you could have a 4 bedroom bath and a half. But you don't need to. The house makes sense without it. But I also wanted to show you this house requires a fairly major clean out because of the attic and the basement. This is jammed full of 70 years worth of stuff. Some of it might be worth something. God, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know an antique if I tripped over one. But I'm just guessing that most of it's just junk. But it's all going to be there when you buy this house. So I wanted you to be able to plan appropriately. So it's an interesting notion to actually turn this into more living space because it's possible, right? But maybe that's something that's done in the later stage, what have you. So let's begin the long descent. I'm going to go all the way down the back stairs here. We're now on the second floor, down to the first, down to the basement to show you that. This is a project that Vina and I were going to do ourselves. It's charming enough. We're only 2 blocks away from the Incline District, and we thought that it was actually possible to fix this way up and then sell it, like retail sell it, to incline district hipsters. But I, unfortunately, oddly enough, I'm the one who had to put the kibosh on that because I've got to pay for yet another eye surgery. And I said, I just need the money now. So let's just sell it rather than, let's make a little money now rather than a lot of money later because I need the money now. So as you can see, the downstairs is absolutely packed with junk. Another interesting tidbit about this house, the plumbing is intact. Touch wood, but it's copper plumbing and it's still here. There is a drain stack. You see PVC, copper, and a little bit of cast iron left. You see a bunch of stuff. The wiring is also intact, so the house hasn't been stripped. I think because it's on such a quiet, dead end, owner occupied street, I was talking to the neighbor about putting a dumpster out. And I'm like, gosh, in Price Hill, you really hesitate to do that. And he's like, that's not going to be a problem here. I'll help keep an eye on it for you. That's not going to be the issue here that it would be somewhere else. So there is one hot water heater. It's hot water heat. Uh, I'm trying to show you the name there. It looks intact. I mean, I'm certain like it needs a tune-up or it needs a pump replaced or something like that, right? Don't hear me say that this is going to fire right up. But the house was occupied over the winter. There's two circuit breaker boxes there. You can see one needs some blanks in it, and just more and more and more stuff. Just acres. There's a table saw down here. There's a bunch of furniture, some of which looks really old, like old dressers and bureaus, but I don't know how it survived, in a basement. I'm not saying it's worth anything, um, but it's there's a lot to clean out, but there's a lot of space down here. So once this is done, both units have access to the basement, so they can use it for storage or what have you. There's the back door. So let's go outside and we will sum back up the whole deal here. So this is again our front shot of this house. So this is a jillion square foot two family. The Given the amount of work that this house needs, we are selling it for under $30,000 because what we wanted to do was leave enough cushion, leave enough space that if someone wanted to do the full refinish of the third floor and turn that into living space and spend all that kind of money to make it a retail deal, that they still had enough room to make money because that's just how we are. But to just get it operating again, obviously you could do that for significantly less. But less than $30,000. It is kind of hard to go wrong here. So, and like I said earlier, it's hard to convey just the appeal and the charm of this house, even in, a high definition video. So even if you've never thought about Price Hill before, this is not your typical Price Hill property. This is not your typical Price Hill deal. I encourage you to call me or text me or email me and let me know that you're interested, and I'm happy to talk to you about it or show it to you or whatever. So thank you very much for your time and attention, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.